I'm struggling to know how to start this video. I just got to start it. For some reason I feel a little bit self-conscious and a bit silly because I've been going on about this bike for what seems like forever, and I feel like you're going to be really disappointed in me. I just need to get to it and show you what it is. I think anybody under the age of 50 is going to go, what the fuck? What are you doing? How is this even slightly interesting? People of a certain age are going to understand though, I'm pretty sure. I did watch an episode of Bike World about a month ago, and Chris had, I watched the video and I was like, he understands. Anyway, let me just show you what it is, okay? And then we'll talk about it. We'll talk about why I've got it. Oh, the disappointment you're going to have in me. Let me explain myself, okay? So, I grew up in a time where the first bike that most people rode was a, let me get in shot somehow so you can see me. Yeah, I grew up in a time where the first, that'll do, won't it? The first bike that people rode was probably a Honda C70 or a C50 or a C90 if you were really lucky, around your mate's field or around the local park. You know, I'm from that era, so Honda step-throughs in all their different guises, the DAX, I'm not going to get into it, but that type of bike has just been, you know, close to my heart my whole life. We all cut our teeth on that sort of thing. And you may remember, if you've been watching for a while, there's a video. I'll put a link to it here. That was the first time I ever clapped eyes on a CT125 in real life. I'd seen pictures, hadn't really paid that much attention. Anyway, so that sparked my curiosity. And then I decided I just had to have one. Because when you ride absolutely everything, not that I ride everything, but you know what I mean. I get to ride a lot of really, really special motorbikes because of my job. It's not about looking cool anymore or having the latest, greatest fucking litre fire-breathing sports bike. It doesn't really interest me. Motorbikes for me, fucking I'm going to get all emotional, not. Bikes for me are how they make you feel, right? And I've just got an affinity with small capacity Hondas like this, just from when I was a kid. Anyway, so I've been looking for one forever. Can you hear that noise? That's the sound of everybody turning off right now. Sorry to disappoint you guys, but I'm not going to apologise anymore. If you don't want to watch, you can all fuck off. Yeah, so I've been looking for one for ages, and a good friend of mine sent me a Facebook listing. I'm not on Facebook, can't stand it. He said, look, there's a CT125, a brand new unregistered one on Facebook. Anyway, long story short, I ended up buying it for the right money for a new one. It was actually cheaper than you could buy a second-hand one in this country. Won't go into the reasons why. The guy was poorly, and just noticed something. Is that supposed to have a gap there? Yes. Anyway, squirrel. It's taken forever. It was unregistered, and I won't bore you with it, but I've had to jump through multiple flipping hoops to get this thing registered. Anyway, it's got a registration number now. I didn't want to start messing around with it and doing things to it before it was registered. Anyway, it's registered now. So get to the point, Jim. So I want to make it cool. Not that it isn't cool already, but in Japan and in Thailand, places where these things are very popular, there's a massive tuning scene like there is for all the other smaller capacity Honda stuff. So the amount of bits you can get for them to make them trick is just bonkers. So the plan is, and I don't have a plan, but I've got half a plan. I don't want it to look like it was covered in super glue and driven through Halfords. I want it to look factory at the end, like a factory special, so we don't want to overdo it, the things I'm thinking of, but I need advice from people that have there's so much stuff you can buy for them. I really need advice from people of the, yes, this is good, yes, this isn't. And not people in the nicest possible way. Don't get in touch if you watched a YouTube video and you happen to have an opinion. I want to hear from people that have actually done it and have the receipts to save me wasting my money. So in terms of modifications, the first thing I want to do is big bore kit. Now there's a quirk to these, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm right from the research I've done. So this is a 2023. So this is is it JC65, and the earlier one was 55. I can't remember the engine prefix. This is the later engine, which is a longer stroke and a smaller diameter bore, which means the cylinder head studs are closer together. The largest capacity big bore kit you can put on is a 145, whereas the earlier engine you can put a 180cc bore kit on, which disappointed me when I found that out. So I thought, been in the rabbit hole a little bit. I think, tell me if I'm wrong, the Takagawa 145 big bore kit with a 4-valve cylinder head seems to be the way to go for these. Paired with, there's a, what's it called? It's a Yoshimura something or other. It's like a quiet exhaust. It's a Yoshi pipe, but apparently they're not very loud. They're nice and quiet, and I don't want to, I'm going to be riding this thing off-road, just dicking around. I don't want a big loud, I don't want to sound like a 17-year-old. So if I can keep it quiet and make a bit more power, that'd be perfect. So the Takagawa 145 with the Yoshimura exhaust pipe. Going to go for some wider rims, I think. One of my patrons kindly said he'd lace the wheels for me, because years ago I used to do wheel lacing. I've sold all my kit though, because it was a dying thing. Nobody ever wanted it doing. So going to get some wider rims laced into these hubs so I can get some wider motocross tyres. You can get a motocross mudguard for the front here to give this all a little bit more clearance. You can modify the brake caliper hanger and put a larger disc on to improve the front brake slightly. Various mods. You can get a cool headlight rack assembly for the front, a rack for here. I don't like how wide and weird they look at the back. It's designed for a fucking box of chickens in Thailand or something, that rack on the back. Super big wide thing. So I want to get a smaller rack for there. So cosmetically change it a little bit, more power, different exhaust pipe, and then suspension. Flipping heck, you can spend a lot of money on suspension on one of these. You can get some upside down forks for them from Japan. I don't think I want to spend that much money. I know it's going to get out of control in terms of spendiness. I don't want it to get too out of control. And then I don't know, this is the thing, about the fueling. Larger throttle body, maybe just a larger injector, because it's only the 145 kit, and then remap the ECU. Or I need to hear from people that have had that fight. So if anybody out there has actually done it and had the fight, then please get in touch with me. Send me an email is probably best. You'll find the email address on my website. It's jim@superbikesurgery.co.uk. If you could email me, that'd be great. Just put CT125 advice or something in the email, and I'd love to have a chat with you about the thing. You know, I don't want to waste my money. And then there's loads of other mods. You can do a manual clutch conversion, which would spoil it really, because the point is that it's automatic and easy to ride. Oil coolers, you could just, it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Anyway, so that's what I've bought. Sorry if I've disappointed a load of you. So yeah, that's that. I have a Beagle update for you. Bloody thing. I'll show you that next. Friday's video, I think you're watching this on Wednesday, if my calculations are correct. It's going to do it on the, and it doesn't matter, I think you're watching this on Wednesday, on a Wednesday. You're not getting the RD 500LC video on Friday. You're going to get something else. I'm still waiting on some parts. There are a load of parts already come, but I haven't got everything I need yet, so I'll have to wait a week for that one. But I've got an interesting video for Friday. Well, I think it is. Interesting job. Okay, the Beagle. What did you do? This is the scene of the crime, isn't it, Beagle? So, I've been doing some building work at my house. I've been putting some new drains in. that little bit of grey pipe had fallen out of the way, and all the manky stuff from the dishwasher in the kitchen had been going into the gravel. And what did the Beagle think she should do? The sand, it tasted like food, didn't it, Beagle? So she ate. Well, she came in the house. I'll tell you the story. So about 3 days ago, she came in the house. Her face was absolutely covered in sandy stuff. All her front paws are all matted and solid with it, all over her chest. And I sent the kids out, said, go down the garden, see if you can find out where Daisy's been digging, because we've got a little vegetable plot, and she normally likes to dig in there and hide things, don't you? So, couldn't find anywhere she'd been digging. Anyway, didn't think anything of it. That night, we woke up in the morning to a load of puke. She'd spewed her dinner up all over the utility room floor, which was lovely. Luckily, we didn't stand in it. And then she was very out of sorts that day, and I was thinking, oh my God, we're going to need a... And by the way, this is before we discovered this. We thought, oh my God, we're going to need another vet's bill, which we could really do without. And she sort of was in her bed, really out of sorts all day, and then managed to coax her to go outside to go to the toilet. And I watched her through the window, and she spent about 10 minutes trying to push her poo out, didn't you, Beagle? I thought I'd better go and have a look at that one and see what's going on with her. She's obviously blocked up, and she literally shat out a concrete block, didn't you? I think your bum hole is never going to be the same again. It was basically this that she pooed out. So she'd, God, you dog. So she'd eaten a load of this sand. She dug underneath here, underneath this concrete, because the sand, trying to get at what she thought might be food, because that pipe had been, you get the idea. You disgusting hound. Anyway, she's better now. She's had a couple of poos, haven't you? And you're eating again. Right, anyway, love you all. Sorry about the CT125 disappointment. We'll get back to normal bikes on Friday. Right, see you soon. Love you, bye.